Hey there, welcome back to the Meat Thinker channel. Let's smoke this brisket in Texas style. Before we go into actual cooking of this brisket in Texas style, let's touch on what is really a Texas style brisket. It is a simple rub, thyme, and smoke. Unlike famous pitmasters with traditional smokers, I'm just a working dad who loves cooking meat on weekends. So I can't call it a true Texas brisket because I'm using a pellet smoker. Instead, I'll give this a simple rub and thyme to make it a Texas style brisket on this episode. So let's get to it. First, let's put the brisket rub together. I'm using 6 parts coarse ground black pepper and 2 parts kosher salt and 1 part Lawry seasoned salt. I always like to go heavy on the pepper because of how it helps building that thick bark without the worries of being too salty. Mix it well and put it in the shaker. Set this aside and let's go trim the brisket. To me, trimming is the trickiest part of brisket cooking because all briskets come in different shapes and sizes, and you just won't know what you're going to get until the brisket is out of the packaging. The last one I smoked had a huge chunk of point missing and had a hard time figuring out how to trim it. Today's brisket also looks different than what you usually see on other YouTube videos. I did try to cut off any flabby parts that will easily burn or dry out. This is not the prettiest brisket, but for the home consumption, this is good enough for me. Now it's time for some seasoning. Cover all areas including around the edges. If you want to use mustard or mayo as a binder, go right ahead. You can do it any way you would like. Now set the smoker to 200 Fahrenheit and place the brisket in the smoker until the internal temperature reaches 180 degrees. The brisket has been smoking for 7 hours. Yes, it's not the prettiest brisket, but things are going pretty well. See that nice mahogany color and fat turning yellow? It's a good sign. Let's check the temperature. It's running at 170. We'll keep it going until it goes up to 180. It's 12 p.m. and the brisket was in the smoker for about 10 hours and is sitting at 180. Let's pull it out and bring it inside to put it in a foil bowl. I'm using my good old regular size aluminum foil in 3 layers. Let's roll up the edges to the brisket and turn it into a foil boat. Now put the brisket back in the smoker and bump the smoker temperature to 250. We will finish cooking when it reaches 200 degrees of internal temperature. It took about 2 hours to get to 200 degrees. Now the brisket is done and ready for the next step, resting. Just like any other times, I'm putting this in the oven at the lowest setting of 170 degrees. The brisket rested in the oven for about 5 hours. Remove the brisket from the oven and do an appearance check. Good bark, soft fat cap poking around, it seems to be pretty tender. Drizzle the render fat onto the brisket. Man, it's the ugliest, prettiest brisket I would love to eat. Let's cut it down in the middle and see how it turned out. Nice smoke ring, yellowish render fat, juicy center. You can see the juice is still oozing out. This looks pretty delicious. The bottom side was a little overcooked and turned a little roasty, but this turned out to be a pretty good brisket. As a dad cooking in the backyard with a pellet smoker, this was a pretty dang good Texas style brisket. Wife loved it, kids loved it, I enjoyed it myself. I also look forward to digging into the leftovers as well. If you enjoyed my video, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, check out my Instagram handle @MeatThinker. Thank you for watching and keep meat thinking. Joseph, you want to taste some brisket?